Good afternoon, everyone. Ben Bryce, joined by Ryan Etner to give you your Thursday midday mayhem. And Ryan, what are we seeing out there? I mean, these grains seem to have, they really sold off coming off since really May. June was a bloodbath, and so far in July, we kind of seem to have maybe found some footing. What do you think with this corn dancing around 4 and beans right around that 11.40, 11.50?
Yeah, I think for corn especially, and well, probably beans as well. We already know funds are record short.
Yep.
So with them being record short, definitely reduces your chances of additional fund selling. They could still come in,
Right.
but with reduced chances, maybe finally finding a few speculative buyers in corn near $4. Beans, I mean, maybe you'll have some people step in at 10, but we haven't reached that low. So it's a little bit harder to find that level in beans, but I think you're finally finding a few speculative buyers at least willing to give it a shot in corn.
All right. So, the growing season, a lot of talk is weather. Now we're getting to the point where most of this corn is looking good. It's pollinating well. What are we looking out for in these grains? What's next for beans? Are we looking at South America trade or, what?
I would say for beans, next week, the 15-day outlook will finally stretch into at least the first few days of August. And bean traders, I'm sure, just absolutely focus on August. So it usually traders don't want to look past 15 days to put their own money on a trade, but next week we'll already be looking at it.
Okay, so weather's still a main driver in these markets right now domestically.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we look down in South America, and even just here in the United States, we had some surprise export sales this morning, which is great. That's what you want to see. Beans, like it, don't like it. They're kind of sitting unchanged on the day. It's kind of weird. But you look down in South America, what are they doing down there with their bean meal? Is that something that we need to be focused on, or their exports out to China? What is going on down in Brazil, Argentina? That is a big story for that driving the bean market.
From what we've been hearing, they are still making sales. And a lot of the commentary I've been following says, well, we're looking for signs that their sales slow. And when their sales slow, that should turn around and come towards us. But haven't quite heard that yet.
Right.
They're not making as big a sales as they were, but they're not totally cutting it off either.
And just because we got a sale this morning doesn't mean that it's going to, inflows or floodgates are open. That's not the case. So tamper your expectations a little bit is what I'm hearing. But these grains just sort of sideways. There's not much to do. Wheat maybe has somewhat of a friendly story coming up with the demand and the supply going on over there in Europe. Yeah, maybe. But again, it's a little bit early, and seasonally those harvest lows are put in around this July, August timeframe.
That's right.
For those winter wheats. But switching from grains to livestock, what's going on in cattle? It's had a decent run up. It hasn't been clean. It's been your typical, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and we're lower again today. So what are we looking at there?
Yeah, after months of a higher box beef trend, we now have going on right on 2 weeks of a grind lower. You could write off 1, 2, 3 days lower, but now, we're coming up on 2 weeks lower. And if you look back over 2 years, you can show that when box beef moves up, cash and futures move up. When it goes down, cash and futures go down. And I think especially the futures traders are not letting that get out of hand. If it starts going down a little bit, they're going to get on the defensive stuff.
Well, and we just saw something right before we started recording here with the box beef numbers. They were a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
So something that I meant, or that my customers bring up a lot, and you mentioned just there, was cash prices. What's going on with the cash price on cattle and what we're seeing on the board?
The board is out in front of cash. They're being on that cautious side. As of the cash trades we heard today, the board, factoring in normal basis, is still $4.5 under cash. So board traders are saying with the trend going down in box beef, we're already pre-guessing next week will probably be a little bit lower, and the week after that. But $4 is not the extreme level. We've seen board get $8, $10 out in front of cash. So 4 is fairly aggressive, but they're not getting too aggressive quite yet.
Okay. Now, before we finish up here, is there anything in cattle we got to be looking out for going into next week?
Well, we have the cattle on feed report Friday, and that is supposed to put placements near 97 as the average guess. You might see another little kick of support here. I still think box beef is going to be number one, but we'll definitely focus on that report tomorrow.
Well, that's the thing. Box beef is a big player. That's what kind of kicked us off on that move lower last fall. So, is it going to be? It seems like these markets, whether it's grains or livestock, are a little bit early this year, compared to the seasonal trends and whatever else, right? So, is that something that you're looking out for, even though we're supposed to see a tighter number come on Friday for that cattle on feed? is that going to be enough to keep this market in this upward trend, or are we going to be looking for something to turn around and look for that downside move, incorporating what you mentioned about the box beef?
Yeah, I would say if box beef could just level off and ease back its pressure, then a lower placements could cause at least a few days of a bounce, if not more. But if box beef just continuously is down, you may have a day or two, and then all attention is going to turn right back to the box beef.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you for joining us. Ryan, thank you for being here. If you guys have any questions, give us a call. We really can be somewhat vague on these, but that's because we have to. So give us a call, 1-800-2-MARKET. That's 1-800-262-7538. Thank you.